Silence enables you to channelize your energy into massive creations.
We learn about life through questions.
Then is everybody intuitive?
Isn't that restricting the growth?
How do you find that balance?
Is it a verb like work to do?
How do we progress and work on that?
To answer some of these, Mr. Pratibimb founder of Pratibimb Charitable Trust, brings to you Face to Face. This week we are talking about silence.
Silence is an ocean. Speech is a river. Silence is golden. Speech is silver. To think about what you want to say before speaking is a common advice, especially to avoid realizing that I spoke too soon. How do we silence our mind?
You have gone directly to 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗧𝗃𝗓𝗓. You didn't start with the ABCD. So let me first establish a little bit of ABCD of silence before I go to the 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃. What is silence? Silence is absence of sound. Number one. The whole universe got created in the absence of sound, in complete stillness. Now, if you conceive the universe and its complexity, silence has that potency, that power to create this complex structure which we say is our universe. That's point number one. Point number two, all creation happens in silence, and I will exemplify this in a moment. Point number three, silence conserves your energy. If you talk at the human level, the more silent you are, the less energy you spend, because when you speak or when you act, you are spending energy. So, silence conserves your energy, which you can utilize for fruitful purposes. Now, coming back to the example that I have to give you from the universe about silence. The earth is considered as a womb of nature, which means all creation happens on earth, and therefore we say Mother Earth. Everything is created in earth. Take diamond. Diamond comes from earth, just as coal comes from earth. Chemically, if you analyze coal and diamond, both are carbon. But the values are dramatically different. Coal is extremely cheap, diamond is extremely expensive. Both are chemically carbon, one is expensive, one is cheap, and what's the reason? The simple reason is that diamond is the hardest known material on earth. Diamond has a terrific shine and diamond is considered as a gem. What converted this carbon, which is black coal, into a shining diamond? So, you must understand a little bit of the mechanism that converts coal to diamond. When the coal is subjected to massive pressure of the earth's crust, and when it sustains that pressure for a long period of time, three things are happening: pressure, temperature and time. Then that ordinary black coal converts into a diamond. All this is happening silently. There is not a noise that comes out. You look at a tree grow, tiny seed, a tiny seed grows into a massive tree, completely silent. All this creation in the universe is happening in utter silence. So, there is a lesson to us human beings from the universe. You want to do some great things in life, do them silently. Look at human beings. क्या किया भाई? शादी किया, बैंड बाजा बारात, पूरे मोहल्ले को जगा दिया. What did you achieve? एक शादी तो किया, कितना आवाज किया. यहां इतना बड़ा काम हो रहा है, universe is doing such a big job, not a sound is uttered. That is the value of silence. So, silence enables you to channelize your energy into massive creations. Wherever it is not necessary, keep quiet. Open your mouth when you have something truthful to say, when it is useful for somebody, when you are not hurting anybody. If you follow these three golden rules, you will be easily able to practice silence, because most of the time we are opening our mouths for utter nonsense. We are gossiping, we are chatting useless stuff, which is neither creative nor useful. So, silence is golden. If you really go to the depth of this phrase, silence is golden, you will understand the importance of silence.
But if we say silence is golden, which we say, then how do we resolve conflicts?
Why do conflicts occur? You are talking of resolution of conflicts. I am saying avoid conflicts. I am saying prevent conflicts. You talk unnecessarily, you talk lies, you give rise to conflict. If you talk less, if you speak the truth, conflict automatically is reduced. When there is a reduction in conflict, there is a reduction in resolution. But I know it will not be suitable for you because then lawyers will be less.
But then I come back to my question, how do we silence our minds then?
How do you quieten your mind is a question which is valid and very difficult for the average person to understand because there is a lot of chatter going on in the mind. Keeping the mind silent is one of the most difficult exercise any human being can undertake. Why is that chatter happening? Because it is not in your control. Why is it not in your control? Because there are several triggers which are simultaneously operating. Some triggers are external. You smell things, you touch things, you taste things, and you have a plethora of thoughts. Everything is a trigger. Add to that all the pent up memory from childhood till today, you have a lot of memories. Suddenly when you don't see anything, when you don't hear anything, you are keeping your eyes closed and you are sitting peacefully, some memory will tickle your thoughts. One thought gives rise to a chain of thoughts. I have a thought, I have got guests for lunch. First thought. It tickles and creates a chain of thoughts. So, okay, how many guests are coming? Oh, there are 8 people coming. So, are they vegetarian, non-vegetarian? What kind of food I should cook for them? Should I cook or should I order? Then I list out all the items on the menu. One thought, I have guests for lunch and I have a chain of thoughts which is about 25 to 30 different thoughts in one moment. What happened? There is a lot of noise in my mind, thoughts. How do I quieten that? Don't entertain the first thought itself. People talk about meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is going into the silence of your own self, which means you have to make your own mind silent. How do you make your mind silent? By not allowing thoughts to invade you. When I use the word invade, it's like an army coming in and occupying your space, your mind space. Your mind space is occupied by the army of thoughts. Stop them at the border. First thought comes, I have got guests for lunch. Okay, out. I don't want to think about it right now. Right now I am in meditation. I am in the silence of my being. So this thought, get out. Okay, so you succeeded in throwing this thought out, guests for lunch. Now you are sitting for meditation, mind is quiet. Second thought comes, tomorrow my boss is expecting a report from me. Then again you will create a chain of 25-30 thoughts. Stop that first thought. Tomorrow boss is expecting a report from me, get out. I am in meditation. I am in the silence of my own being. When you develop the practice of cutting the first thought, then you have succeeded in stopping the army of thoughts that will occupy your mind.
So silence is necessary for meditation.
Silence is the prerequisite for meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is concentration. So suppose I am meditating on, let us say, in today's condition, world peace. The world is in turmoil. I am meditating on world peace. When will I be able to focus on this subject of world peace? When my mind is not occupied by any other thought. Which means I have to learn to train myself to go into silence.
I'll just touch upon what you said earlier, was that we should silence our first thought, if it is some guest coming for lunch or whatever. So how do we progress on and work on that? Because that also needs to be handled and managed.
Yes, and that's a very good question because this is where many people fail in meditation because thoughts keep coming in. And there is a very simple solution to that. How do you stop an unwanted guest from entering your house? Let's say a salesperson who is wanting to sell something to you. No, we are not interested, please go away. You don't even open the door to allow the person to come in and show you what he has. So in the first instant only, you have got rid of that unwanted guest. So this is an unwanted guest of the first thought coming into your mind. I have got guests for lunch. Get out. Physically tell get out to that thought. Initially, it might sound ridiculous, but when you practice it over a period of time, you will discover that it works. Once you have trained your mind to throw out the first thought, eventually your mind will be so expert at throwing away the thought that you will find that your mind is peaceful.
So we have to learn to do that.
You have to learn to do that.
So would it be right to say that speech or right speech leads to silence?
Silence leads to right speech.
It's the other way around.
Yes. Because the more you are silent, the more you get an opportunity to think. Many a times you will see that wrong speech, when I say wrong, it is in italics. Wrong is because you have responded impulsively. Like when people travel by train, सीधा खड़ा रे धक्का क्यों मारता है? One fellow talks to his neighbor, सीधा खड़ा रे धक्का क्यों मारता है? अभी train is moving, there is crowd in the train, धक्का तो लगना ही है. But when one fellow out of irritation, for some reason he is irritated, he says धक्का क्यों मारता है? The other person has a choice. Stay silent, ignore him, or respond. Respond has two choices. Either say sorry or say मैं किधर धक्का मारा? तू ही तो मारा, तू सीधा खड़ा रहे. Which is what normally happens in the train. One fellow says धक्का क्यों मारता है? Other fellow says तूने मारा धक्का, तू सीधा खड़ा रहे. That small exchange of two sentences escalates into a huge row, and then other people get into that whole hangama, which could have easily been avoided if that first person had remained silent. Train hai, धक्का लगता है. But nahi, I want to show that I am powerful. Now imagine my brother is standing next to me, और मेरे brother का धक्का मुझे लगा. Am I going to ask him, धक्का क्यों मारता है? No, मेरा भाई है भाई तू. ट्रेन है, हाँ ठीक है टिकट खड़ा रहे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. So if we start thinking in these terms, we will curtail lot of communication and we will curtail future problems. Silence is the precursor for peace and harmony. When we break silence, we are breaking harmony and we are inviting trouble, arguments, battles, wars.
So that's why it is that the silence, being silent can avoid the conflict.
Yes.
Silence gives us the chance to pull together information or speech to which we have just been exposed, but which perhaps we need more time to process.
If you have some questions about life, please connect with us. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for weekly updates.